Hey everybody, welcome to this week's episode of Fly Together, brought to you by Most 529, Missouri's education savings plan. Of course, you can learn all about them right now at MissouriMost.org. I'm Andrew Buckbinder. We're up here in the production room at Hammons Field, where Kent Shelton and his team control all of the entertainment at the ballpark. I'm surrounded by a whole bunch of buttons I'm not allowed to touch, but we appreciate you joining us and enjoying this behind-the-scenes look up here on the third level of the ballpark. Great show in store this week. We've got a really fun piece. Regina Norris is hosting it here in a couple moments, where we polled you guys on our social media all week last week, and we found out what your favorite ballpark food is. The finalists were hot dogs, brats, and nachos. So the big reveal coming up here in just a bit on tonight's episode. We're also going to, of course, catch up with Dan Ryder, find out what he's got in store for us with stuff under Dan's desk. He gives away really cool items each week. Kathy Ross, congratulations, our longtime member and friend. Kathy, you won last week's batch of Dan's stuff, so we'll message you here in a little bit on Facebook to coordinate the pickup with you. We've also got another great edition of Grounds Crew Yard Tips, brought to you by Ryan Lawn and Tree with Derek Edwards, one of our groundskeepers here at the ballpark. And to kick everything off, we've got Bird Bites, presented by American National. Joining us this week is slugging outfielder from last year's team, Conner Capel, coming up next.
Do you have a little girl who plays softball? If they become a pitcher, they could be racking up the Ks when they get older. But strikeouts won't help you save for school expenses. That's where a Missouri Most 529 education plan comes in. This tax-deferred investment account can be used to pay for K through 12, a 2 to 4 year college, even trade or grad school. It's flexible enough to be used for all sorts of education goals. So don't whiff on your chance to save for education. Get the 101 on a 529 at MissouriMost.com/529facts.
I've got a brand new edition of Bird Bites, brought to you by American National, and very excited. We're being joined by Conner Capel, Cardinals outfielder from 2019. And Conner, how's it going, man? Are you down in the Lone Star State?
I am. Everything's good, so able to get back out there and good to go. So been able to play in a baseball league out here for a little bit, so excited to do that and get back on the field.
Oh, that's cool. So is that something that is going on locally? You're down in Houston, right, or in the Houston area?
Yes, Katy. So it's right on the west side of Houston. So they had a little independent league there. So it's a 4-team league. So just kind of play each team throughout the week. I think you play the most 5 games. Sometimes you play 3. So it just kind of depends, but it's good.
Yeah. Oh, very cool. Very cool. Well, hey, we can dive right into Bird Bites here. And our first hard-hitting question for you is, what's your favorite thing, baseball memorabilia related, that you have in your house right now?
Favorite thing. I did win one of the big high school tournaments growing up, and we got a ring for that, so that was pretty cool because I knew all the buddies on there, and we all played for a while, so that's pretty cool to have that ring and just a cool memory. So
yeah,
I'll have to go with that.
That's neat that it's like a personal thing. You know, some guys might go with an autograph or something like that, but for it to be personal, it's kind of makes it even more special, I guess.
Yeah. So we have a bunch of autographs, but I'm not a big autograph guy, so I thought it was kind of cool winning that tournament and being there with all my friends and everybody. So it was a pretty cool moment.
So last year, we saw you golf at the Cardinals Care Golf Tournament down around Branson, but I also know that you're a pretty big hunter. So we thought it would be interesting to ask, what do you prefer to do, golf or hunt?
100% hunt. This offseason with everything going on, this is actually the first time I've gotten into golf, so I started playing quite a bit. Other than like years before, I played maybe once or twice a year, but now I play maybe once or twice a week. So I've been getting into it since, everything else is not much to do. So it's been good, trying to get my swing down.
So how long have you been hunting then?
I've hunted my whole life, so I'm a big hunter. So I grew up doing it, and I love it. So off season, I love doing it. That's what I do with most of my time.
Like the whole wake up at like 3 a.m. kind of deal, and
Not quite that early.
winter?
Probably like 5:30, and then wake up, go hunt, and then sit out there, and then come back, eat lunch, and go back out there. So it's good. I enjoy it. Get away from everything. So
Is there like an especially cool hunting story or moment or like accomplishment that you have?
I mean, I bow hunt, so I think I love bow hunting. I got into that probably 5-6 years ago, and I've never shot a gun since. So I mean, I think it's way harder and a lot more success when you do it. So I mean, I love it. So I think it's cheating if you use a gun now. I get on both of my brothers and my dad still use a gun, so I still get on them about it. But it's fun.
Yeah, that's cool. So, all right, we obviously know you're pretty good at baseball, to say the least. What sport are you worst at?
Ooh. That I play? Ooh.
Or that, like, even back in, like, gym class when it was rotation, I know mine was soccer. Like, I could not get my feet to work.
Yeah.
Is there one that you just dread, or dreaded having to be involved with?
I used to try and play tennis. I wasn't real good at tennis. I'd always hit it, and I could never get in the little, like, court. So I'd have to go with tennis. So I
You hit
swing
it
like
too
a baseball
far?
bat.
Is that it?
Obviously, it doesn't work.
Too much power for tennis?
Yeah, we can go with that.
No doubt. All right. How long can you hold your breath underwater? Which I guess could be hold your breath in general as well.
I was not long. I'm not a big swimmer. I don't like going out. I'm not a big out. Like, I like the outdoors, but I don't like going out to like the beach or anything too much. I would say probably 30 seconds, 40 seconds max. So probably not too long.
Did you ever like try as a kid to hit a minute? Like I feel like I used to love doing that, just counting to 60.
A long time ago, yeah, I used to do that all the time in the pool, but I haven't done that in a while. So I'm gonna have to go try that out and see what I got and get back with y'all.
Yeah, please do. Just don't tell St. Louis.
Yeah.
Anything that puts your health at risk wasn't our idea. Okay, so maybe not swimming, but what Olympic event do you think you'd be best at? It could be summer or winter.
I would like to try snowboarding. So I saw snow for the first time, and I went cross-country skiing, but it wasn't what I was expecting. It was a lot more of a workout than skiing and enjoying it. So I wasn't a big fan of that. But I like to try and pick up snowboarding if I could. But with baseball, I don't get on them or anything. So maybe after baseball's done, I could try and pick that up.
Where'd you see snow for the first time? How long ago was that?
Breckenridge, Colorado. So I think I went in January, somewhere around then. So there was a ton of snow. It snowed, so it's pretty cool. It was a good trip.
Yeah, I thought you were going to pick baseball because that's coming back for the Japan 2021.
Yeah. So that would be cool too. I thought I couldn't pick that one. So that's obviously first.
That was the easy way out.
Yeah. So
I didn't even know it was coming back. So yeah, we didn't even know we had an easy way out, or I didn't.
Yeah.
All right. So you're not a big like autograph collector, your family's not, but what about jerseys? What players' jerseys of any sport maybe do you own other than your own?
Honestly, none.
None.
Yeah, I don't have any. Actually, growing up a long time, I used to have a bunch of basketball jerseys because I'd always go to Disney and they had the NBA little section, and we always get a jersey every year and do a little 3-point contest. But I just picked out ones that look cool, not really who they were.
Yeah.
But they don't fit me anymore, but other than that, I don't really have any.
So what's your least favorite household chore?
Clean the gutters, I'd say. Yeah, I have to do that probably once or twice in the off season, so I'm not a big fan of that. So I keep trying to put it off, but then I finally got to do it. So I'm not a big fan of that.
Now, do you have any like gutter cleaning tips that you've developed through the years to make it a little bit better?
I usually, depending, I'll use a power washer, or I'll use like a leaf blower. So it's a little messier with the power washer, but it gets it done a little quicker, and then I'll just rinse off after. So I don't mind getting a little dirty.
See, the great thing there is we can double that answer as the next Ryan Lawn and Tree yard tip segment on this show.
Yeah.
Presented by Conner Capel.
Yeah.
So what's the best thing you've streamed during quarantine? And it could be a movie or a show.
I'm excited Yellowstone started back up. That's one of my favorite shows.
Nice.
So I've been hooked on that. I've been fiending for it every week. So that's one of my favorite shows. So can't wait for it to come back on this Sunday.
I've never seen that. I've heard good things.
I say, yeah, it's up in I think Montana. So it's it's like a Western show kind of, but not modern day with Kevin Costner. So it's been good. I love it.
Cool.
So
Yeah, very cool. Who's a player that you grew up idolizing?
I love watching like Robinson Cano and like Derek Jeter and that whole Yankees team. Thought they were pretty cool. Obviously Jeter is Jeter, so that's always cool to watch him play. So
Did you like Cano at all because he was left-handed? Like, did you gravitate towards left-handed batters since that's what you are?
I loved his swing. So I think he has an awesome swing. So it's always cool to watch him hit. He's one of the best hitters also. So it's always cool to watch that.
All right, so our last question, we've been ending all of these with the same question, is what's been the favorite moment of your career so far?
I'd say it have to be like hitting a walk-off or something with the team in like a big game. So those are always fun for the team and personally. So it's always a cool moment when you don't forget. So,
Now, do you embrace the shower that comes with that, or do you try to run away from it?
Depends on the weather. So early in the season, I try and get away. If it's late in the season, maybe if it's hot, day game, it feels a little better. But I'm not – even when I played football growing up, I never liked water on my head, nothing like that. So I wasn't a big guy on that.
Do you feel like when it's really cold out and you definitely don't want that cooler shower, do you feel like the other guys try to give it to you that much more? Like, is it harder to get
100%.
from him?
Yeah. If someone else hits a walk-off, we're trying to get it all over them just because it's colder.
Yeah, make it hurt as much as possible.
Yeah.
Sounds good, man. We really appreciate it, Conner. You survived Bird Bites, presented by American National, and we just appreciate you joining us from home. And we're bummed, obviously, we can't see you at the ballpark right now, but appreciate your time and look forward to getting you back on a field someday soon.
Yes, sir. Thank you all for having me.
For sure, Conner. Thanks.
Have a good one.
Hey Cardinals fans, thanks for tuning in. I'm Regina Norris, and this is We Love Our Fans. This past week, we did a Facebook poll to determine what everyone's favorite ballpark food was here at Hammons Field. The 3 finalists were nachos, bratwurst, and hot dogs. So let's send it over to our special guest to see what the winner is. Congratulations to everyone who voted for our ballpark nachos. Be sure to check in next week to see what we have in store. See you next time.
And welcome back to another week of Grounds Crew Yard Tips presented by Ryan Lawn and Tree. I'm Matt Turer, the Cardinals social media guy. This week, Derek Edwards is going to talk about controlling Bermuda grass in cool season lawns. Enjoy.
So a common warm season grass in Bermuda, like we have here in the bullpen at Hammons Field, sometimes can infiltrate your fescue, cool season fescue lawn, and some people always wonder, how do I control or get rid of that grass in my yard? A way you can do that is to encourage and promote your fescue by mowing it a little higher, 2 to 3 inches, even up to 4 inches, and keeping the fescue healthy, allowing it to kind of choke off the Bermuda grass. That's a good start in controlling it. Another way on top of controlling it by mowing your yard higher and thickening up your fescue is to use is you use a herbicide that specifically targets Bermuda. This is a chemical that'll go in and kind of choke off and slow down the process of that Bermuda taking over your yard. There's no real true way to necessarily just get the Bermuda out of the yard, but you can kind of slow its process down while continuing to do other cultural practices to allow that turf to fescue to thicken up and choke out that Bermuda. Another way you can completely eliminate the Bermuda in your yard is to come in and spray the entire yard, effectively killing it all out, and then coming in and tilling that up and making sure to get all those root zones out of the ground. That process costs you a little more and is a little more time consuming, as you'll have to come in and either reseed your yard or lay fresh sod to have a nice brand new yard. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.
Well, it's time to find out what Dan Ryder has in store for us this week. It is Stuff Under Dan's Desk. Again, to enter in for Dan's stuff, all you have to do right now, like this post or comment below. We'll pick a winner and announce the winner in next week's episode. So without further ado, our Vice President and General Manager, Dan Ryder. All right, it's time to find out what we've been wondering all week. What is Dan giving away this week? It's Dan Ryder, of course, joining us for Stuff Under Dan's Desk. And Dan, always good to see you each weekend here. How's everything going?
Good. I'm just so glad to be involved with one of the really thought-provoking moments of the show. What's under Dan's desk? That's what I'm qualified to answer, everyone.
Yeah.
Curious.
Well, we're asking the big questions on this show. So without further ado, what do you have for us this week?
Well, I'm going to give you something that's actually in honor of opening day. I think all of baseball was so excited to finally see baseball being thrown. And in honor of that, I have something that Cardinals fans appreciate on opening day. And that would be one of those iconic things of Ozzie Smith. Don't adjust your screens. This is not upside down, but Ozzie Smith doing his backflip. And this is something that Aaron Sachs and Associates gave away a couple years ago. It's one of my favorite all-time bobbleheads, and part of that's again, I'm a child of the 80s. Ozzie Smith was my all-time favorite player. Growing up, I loved him. I was not physically equipped to do backflips, or else I would have ended up in a trip to the hospital. But it's still something I always looked forward to as a kid. And so in honor of opening day and how Ozzie would do his backflip on opening day, we have our Ozzie Smith Flippin Bobblehead. So if you just kind of go like this, and this one, I actually picked one on purpose. It doesn't spool. I will warn everyone. Okay, so once you get this, you're so tempted to play with it. The key is to make sure you put a finger on the base whenever you flip it so that the whole thing doesn't tip over. I mean, just so much momentum.
Yeah.
Deep thought into a physics question if we really want to. But when you have your Ozzie Smith Flippin Bobblehead, make sure you do keep a finger on the base when you flip it.
Well, safety first, right? When you're doing backflips, you always want to make sure you land it and the ground doesn't come up from under you. So that makes sense. So very cool. Not just upside down, but actually does flip. And we do suggest the finger on the base to make sure little Ozzie stays safe doing his backflips. So as always, to enter to win Dan's stuff, all you have to do is comment on this video right now, or like the post as well. We'll pick a winner and announce the winner next week. So very cool, Dan. Thanks
so
for
much better
away.
than a fidget spinner, by the way.
What?
So much cooler than a fidget spinner.
I can see the rest of your afternoon appears booked.
Yeah. So if your spouses or bosses are upset, not my fault. You signed up to win.
Yeah, perfect. Peak efficiency with the Flippin' Ozzie Smith bobblehead. So, Dan, thanks as always. It's great to see you, and we'll look forward to giving away more of your stuff next week.
Well, hey, and happy opening day to all the Cardinals fans. So I'm thrilled to have baseball back, and I hope you all are as well.
Thanks, Dan. Well, that's going to do it for this week's episode of Fly Together, brought to you by Most 529. Another big thanks, as always, to you guys, everybody joining us each week here on the show. Also want to thank this week's guests, including Conner Capel, who joined us for Bird Bites, presented by American National. Derek Edwards doing a great job, as always, with our Ryan Lawn and Tree Grounds Crew Yard Tips. And Regina, not a guest, one of our teammates, but doing a great job as well with the Ballpark Food Contest. Our production team, Ken Shelton, TJ TJ Patton, Regina Norris, Matt Turr, I'm Andrew Buckbinder saying thank you again for joining us, and be sure to keep an eye out as well for information about our next Great Southern Bank free community fireworks show. We've done 2 and we've got 4 more over the next couple months. So we'll be releasing all the info about those on our social media pages and our website soon. Until next week, thanks again for joining us and have a great week. Over shift right side. The first one is golfed by Beer, deep right center field. Capel flying back with a diving grab.